Hey, and welcome to another 10-minute Marvel video. Today I wanted to touch on a topic of what's the big question at the end of Loki episode 3. Not really the big question. We know the big question. The big question is, what does Miss Minutes know? The thing that I want to touch on is, what is that answer? Because, well, I think there's a number of different things that it could be. Mainly, when you think about it, there's a few different guesses that we have, a few different ones that we go through on the 10-Minute Marvel podcast episode coming out tomorrow. And I've been thinking on it some more since we streamed, or since we recorded that. And I have to say, I like a few of our different thoughts and different options. The first one would be that Miss Minutes is actually a version or part of Ravonna Renslayer's consciousness. That Kang cut that out of her, like as part of kind of the resetting her memory, and put it into the AI. This would tie into this concept that potentially Kang could never have Ravonna, like they could never be together, because his ego oftentimes gets in the way, but it's very comic book based that way. And so then having Miss Minutes have part of Ravonna's consciousness in her, that makes it feel a bit more like he can still be with her. The other thing that I think, one of the other ones, is that Ravonna is way more important to this multiversal war than we know to this point. Obviously, we know that she's been fairly important because He Who Remains says that it wouldn't have been possible to win the multiversal war without her. But what does that mean? Does that mean that she and he were the ones who had the power to control Alioth? Kind of like we saw Sylvie and Loki do that? Or is it that she is the one who has the power to control or create Alioth to get him out of that kind of between times space of the multiverse to set him up? Or maybe is she more pivotal in some other way? Is it her knowledge versus somebody else's that versus He Who Remains that really created the temporal loom and set the TVA on the path that it is? There's some reason that He Who Remains wiped her memories, but what is it going to be? And I think that Miss Minutes' secret most likely has something to do with that, has something to do with the understanding of, hey, He Who Remains wiped your memories, and this is why. The other one is that Ravonna is a variant of Kang. Now, you might be like, well, we've seen the Council of Kangs. There weren't any of them there that look like Ravonna. And it's true, there weren't. But we've seen kind of the breadth that those variants can take. And we've seen in Loki itself, with Loki and Sylvie, the gender swap, gender change of variants. They're the same person, just a different sex. And that I think is a possibility, in that it would give them an interesting story to tell that would bookend kind of what we had start out here. We had the whole Loki and Sylvie, and needing Loki to track down another Loki. Well, what if Kang, He Who Remains, that version of Kang, the only way that he could succeed is with another Kang? But there's some things that are inherently Kang-like, in that Kangs love power more than almost anything else. So Ravonna and Kang wouldn't be able to really share that seat at the top. They won't be able to both be there at the end of time. We even see that with Victor Timely in episode 3, where Victor Timely flips out at the idea of being partners twice in that episode. So those are just 3 theories that we have. I guess fourth theory, throw out there. Ravonna's not actually a real person. Ravonna is an AI herself, and basically the exact same thing as Miss Minutes, but like a earlier, inferior version. I don't think that one's going to be the case, but I wanted to toss that one in there as at the end. Which answer to the question, or which secret that Miss Minutes knows out of these 4 options do you think is the most likely? Leave your thoughts down in the comment below. And check out our coverage on Loki episode 3 coming out tomorrow, as well as then our follow-up videos and topics over on 10 Minute Marvel here on YouTube, as well as then the 10 Minute Marvel podcast. And you can find us on social media, on Facebook at 10 Minute Marvel, or 10 Min Marvel, and then on Twitter or X with hashtag 10MinMarvel. But with that, thanks for watching.